But we still have to keep talking about Subway, because not only have they done that, they've done 2 other things piling up. Good for them. Everybody's talking about them. They're in the zeitgeist. I said psych heist, and that's fine. Get in the van. Let's talk about this.
Is this Tiger Belly right now?
What makes you say that?
Before the breakup.
Oh. That is so mean. They are going through a hard time right now. They need the sympathy of people like us.
They seem pretty okay. I'm not gonna lie. Well,
every other clip I see is her saying something about how she's not in a good space, and she was always in a bad
she's
space.
doing really bad.
Well, Bobby's doing bad too.
Bobby definitely seems slightly more okay.
I think that's all a facade. Bobby.
It could be because knowing how he is, knowing comedians, just in general.
He joke like I think I've told you about this before. He jokes a lot, like I'm so sad. Like he makes a joke about it.
Yeah.
But like we're like, but you're pretty sad, aren't you?
Sad.
Okay, we're set. We're good to go. So let's
beans.
talk about it. I look like a blueberry. I look like a blueberry that is perfectly ripening right now. I look like a blueberry. I look like one of Thanos' nuts right now. It's nuts how much I look like one of his nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look like one of his wet notes that he just dunked right into the waters of wherever that, when he got the Infinity Stone, and he was just laying it, and then he got up and only half his balls were wet. That's what I look like. So let's talk about it. You know, there's a lot going on in the world yet again. And there's only one podcast you can come to for that info. NPR.
Not us.
There's only one podcast you can come to for that info. That's Joe Rogan's podcast.
True.
Now, there's only one podcast you come to for the real news, and that's SuperSour.
Oh, yes.
Reese, I just need to know. We really need to figure out what the fuck is going on. What the fuck is going on? I like tasteful screaming, which isn't a thing anymore. Which is funny because the screaming nowadays, people would say is tasteful. They'd say that's how you're supposed to scream nowadays. And I'd be like, All That Remains and Slipknot have always had it down pat.
Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
They've also, I think they've had it down pat pretty good.
I think so too. I thought you were gonna say no, and I was like, oh.
No, I think they had it down good. No. I think Bullet for My Valentine had it down pretty good.
For sure.
Especially for the British, they held down the British style screaming.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I think those were the ways to do it, but I guess that's actually bad for you nowadays. That's what.
Well,
they say.
yeah,
that's what they
terrible, but
to do it those ways. You know,
yeah, really bad.
These other ways, yeah.
Well, but I mean, I smoke cigarettes.
What's going on? That's bullshit. What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
There you go. It's another episode of SuperSour Podcast. You already know what we're doing today. We're going to go over the news and figure out what's going on in this world. Not necessarily like news, but, we're just hanging out, chatting. We wanted to pod really bad today, and there's been so much funny stuff going on. Funny stuff that is serious, but is actually so funny. Because here in the SuperSour Podcast Network, things can always be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a big blow up here on the network when we first started, and it's pretty funny now sometimes.
You gotta laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you just gotta laugh about.
Right. That's what we say. We like to have a good time here.
Yeah. If somebody dies in your family, we'll laugh about it.
Yeah. I mean, just send us the notes and we'll make a joke about it.
Yeah.
Any comedian.
Totally.
If you don't have access to another comedian or something like that in your life, hit us up.
Got you covered.
Yeah, we'll help you out.
Mm-hmm.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Joe, the whitest Puerto Rican you know. Reese is on camera today. Thank you for being here, Reese.
I'm Reese. Who's
Hell
that
yeah.
girl?
It's Reese.
It's Reese.
Hell yeah. We got a good show today. What to talk about, what to start talking about. Let's talk about first Subway, because they are back in the news again.
Oh, you really upset me with that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, there's three different things that they're in the news. Well, I mean, in the news, they're in the... I think, for me, being in the news is just being talked about on podcasts and or being on an article in Reddit or online.
That's news.
If I pull up my Yahoo to go to my mail and I see a little article, news.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's an article, that is news. That's media. I don't know.
Fake news. If it's fake news, it's still news.
I don't know if I consider podcasts to be
well, they're delivering
an
the news.
I get that. I don't know if I consider it a real media outlet for actual news.
Well,
because
what if
more
it's a news podcast?
Then yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean, no, you can't get it. You can't get the news immediately. Like, you know, if that's what you mean. Like,
well, that and typically podcasts are just talking relatively about things
that are going on.
That are
Wait a minute,
they don't
isn't that what we're doing?
Yes, we're not a news podcast.
Shit. Well, I bought that Anchor suit for no reason now. I've watched Anchorman 1. I watched Anchorman 1 and 2.
Damn, Daniel.
Was that for nothing? I got white Vans and it's for nothing now.
Back at it with the fake news.
Now Ellen's never going to notice us.
Oh, well, you know, if we actually just say "damn Daniel" and make vines, we can be on Ellen because
did you watch Damn Daniel recently?
He was on Ellen before.
Well, yeah, he was. Yes. That is one of your favorite lines. I noticed that.
I like saying that a lot. I knew a lot of Dannies, and they didn't like being called Daniel when that came out.
That is true. Yeah.
And I really like
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love saying
people say my name all the time now, and they say, "Dude, I would have been hyped if people were saying my name like that."
Right, Reese. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Joe.
I would have worn white shoes every day from there on. No.
Yeah.
You have to say my name is me. Damn, we'll say. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Almost had it. Come on, it could be offensive here. So Subway. First things first. What happened is this was in Ireland, and we don't even have to, I don't even have to look up articles for this shit. I can tell you exactly what happened. Basically, they went. The health food organization. Whatever, healthy food. Make sure your food's good stuff, people.
The FDA?
Yes.
Well, in Ireland, I think it's called something else, but
probably.
I'll probably put it up, maybe.
That's good. Good covering. They did some tests on the Subway bread, as they should, considering there used to be microfibers. As we have microfiber in the bread.
Sounds right, but I mean, I'm not going to Subway for
yoga mats to microfiber, and then it's all good. That's what they found in the breads.
Yeah.
And that was only because of the mats that they were using with the microfiber. They were using mats for the bread, and they'd peel it off when they baked it. That's where it was getting baked into the bread.
Yeah, it seems fine.
So it makes us strong, right? It's why we're totally healthy right now.
It's fibrous.
Yeah. Fibrous, and it's got micros in them, which it's kind of like, they say that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've been microing a lot. I've been microdosing. I've been microdosing with fibers. With those being things that have happened in Subway's bread, this doesn't seem that bad. But basically, they can't consider their bread to be bread anymore. Like whatever the health organization there won't legally allow them to call it bread. I don't know if that's what's going to happen here or another Subway's, probably not. But they tested it, and there was so much sugar in the bread that they were like, "This is a baked good. This is not bread anymore. You have made cake, essentially, and that's how you can't serve sandwiches that way." And they were like, "You can, essentially, I guess," but they were like, it's sugar bread. It's not bread.
I have so much to say about this real quick.
Okay, well, let's try to summarize it up. I mean, we'll pot you down real quick. You might control that, but...
I know we got a lot to talk about today, obviously, but this is one topic.
Fine.
Other countries,
So the next topic, anyway, today, we have... No. It got her. I fucking got her.
You know, I meant to do it sooner, but my arthritis actually got me on that.
Gotcha. All right.
But,
All right. Yes, please, if you will.
Yeah, no, so in other countries, like, their FDA or whatever they call it in other countries is, like, way better. Like, way higher standards than ours. Like, you can't have, like, crushed up bugs in your peanut butter, you know? Like, that much better.
Wait, we can't have crushed up bugs in our peanut butter either,
can.
So, okay.
Yeah, there you can have, I think it's 15% of your food can have bugs in it.
It's allowed, you're
and
saying.
It's allowed, yeah. It's totally fine.
That's wild.
You know, with our country, our FDA is like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. That looks fine. They say hot dogs, and they're like, yeah, that's totally cool. Have you seen people, like, take apart hot dogs and microscope it and stuff? I know that's not bread related, but, like...
I don't want to.
Do you know how much sugar is in our toothpaste right now?
That's
a baked good, sir. That is a baked good in other countries.
Ah, crest?
That's
icing.
That is icing. Look up anybody from another country, or honestly this country, if you look it up.
Does all food flavoring, not food flavoring, does all toothpaste, if it tastes good, you're saying that it's got sugar in it then?
All our toothpaste pretty much has sugar in it, unless it specifically says no sugar added, or, you know, all of
that
those.
One tastes terrible.
All natural. No, I had that, the coconut one. That one time, remember?
Yeah, but they had like those chunks in it, and it was weird.
It was natural, so it did have chunks of actual coconut in it. But that said, there was no actual sugar.
Fair enough.
My cavities, literally, like, I can feel it when I brush my teeth. Like, I have to take the toothbrush out because it hurts them. Like, when there's so much sugar in the toothpaste.
Really? Well, now I got to reevaluate my whole toothpaste choices. This is life every day at this point in this world.
It's true, though.
It really is. It's so frustrating. I mean, you should be eating at Subway anyway. So if you already are, you should already be reevaluating your life choices right now. I mean, before this. But if you're not already, right now, reevaluate it. You know, I'm a man willing to say I need to buy different toothpaste. You should be a person, xzstnce, that is willing to admit that you need to stop eating at Subway.
Also, what's up with Jared? I mean,
what's up with that guy? Am I right?
It should have been canceled a long time ago.
Dude, they got really screwed the pooch with that guy. Yeah. I mean, they really lost out for a long time. Even now today, you can't bring up Subway without thinking about, did that guy fuck kids? You know,
yeah.
Poor
he
guy.
Did.
Yeah, that was not poor guy, but like poor company. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
poor guys. Poor guys.
Company.
Those guys who like, because you get a thing, they're like, this guy's
corporation.
You know, we're gonna make this guy the guy. You know, this is what's up. You know, and he had some real shitty contract terms, honestly, but it doesn't really. Nobody can care anymore if you're fucking kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But besides the whole fucking kids thing, I worked at Subway at one point in my life when I was 16 years old, and I mean, it's just not. Any Subway worker would tell you, like, they don't care anyway, but they would tell you, dude, don't eat there. It's not good. It's not good for you in any way, shape, or form. And, my story that I tell everybody, just to get one out there, is that when you made the tuna there, I've worked at other shops and other places, and, if you make tuna, whether it be from some special place you get it, or you just get sun-kissed or something like that, Subway got big silver packages of compact tuna that just said Subway tuna. That's it. That's all. And another thing, and I'm sure they do this at all kinds of Subways, there's no such thing as light mayo. There's no such thing as light mayo in general, but there's no such thing as light mayo. Like, if they run out of light mayo, which they do often at Subways, they just refill it with regular mayo. So have fun feeling like your sandwich, it tastes so good today. This is the best Subway one I've ever had. It's because they put regular cum on your fucking sandwich. That's why.
I'm having a realization. I thought light mayo just meant they used less.
No.
I didn't know that light mayo was a thing.
So we're going on sandwich tangents, and I can do that. When I started working at Jersey Mike's, people would come in and say, I want light mayo. And we would lightly put mayo, and some people, a very small percentage, would freak out and go, I said light mayo. Where's the light mayo? And we'd go, because they saw us take from the regular mayo. And we go, we don't, and then we would have to tell people, like, that's not a thing. Like, we have mayo. We can go light on the mayo for you. And they would freak out and be like, anybody who tells you, like, oh, unless the mayo is actually made differently, like with some different oils, I can't contest to that. But when it's mayo and then it just says light mayo, it's not a thing. Like in the stores, it's not. You can't make fat less. Like you can't. Mayo is just fat. Like
okay, so my mind's not that blown. I found out that light mayo is not actually a thing, which I thought it was not a thing already.
Yeah, it's really not. Like I guess scientifically you can prove that it has less of something, but if it's less of something that's just fat, then how are you going to call it light? It's not.
Because it's just eggs. You can make mayo at home.
Yeah,
which
is disgusting.
I've done that at Waffle House.
It's just like the mayo for me. I love mayo, but it's like the story of the hot dog. I love it. I don't want to see how it's made.
No.
I don't because I know it's nasty.
It's just egg.
But yeah. Anyway, stop being so weird with that shit, Subway. But we still have to keep talking about Subway because not only have they done that, they've done two other things piling up. Good for them. Everybody's talking about them. They're in the psych heist. I said psych heist, and that's fine. Get in the van. Let's talk about this. They also had an event. I figured this out. I thought it was a thing they were just doing around, which it makes sense now that it's just an event. They had an event where they were offering people. They got a tattoo artist from Ink Master. Shouts out Mitch at Just in Time Sweets. What's up?
Is it the Nazi guy?
I'm sorry, you said who?
The Nazi guy from Ink Master.
They had a Nazi guy on there.
On Ink Master, yeah.
He's like a reformed Nazi. I don't watch Ink Master, so.
Oh.
So I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it, but if you tell me that, I'm just blown away by you saying the Nazi guy so casually about a show that's on TV.
Yeah, he would blackface a lot for Halloween, like an excessive amount.
Okay, so where's the redeeming quality? You keep telling me all the bad things about him. Where is the redeeming quality?
No, there's not any. He's actually a real asshole of a judge.
So he's really still a Nazi?
I mean, I don't know if he calls himself a Nazi at all. But the blackface was very... Is
this just things you have found out about him? They don't talk about it on the show, right?
On the show, no. Of course
you found this out about him. Okay,
they wouldn't acknowledge this. Like, they wouldn't be like, oh, and here's our blackface judge.
Right.
Great guy. Look at him last Halloween as blackface. Here's a picture.
I connected the lines and realizing that there's no way they'd let him on there if that was that public. Oh, wait, you find things out a lot, so I get it.
Yeah, my bad. For some reason, I thought it was more public knowledge, but it's obviously a condensed...
the Nazi tattoo guy on Ink Master. Yeah, no, as far as a talking point, doesn't normally come up much in my life.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. So, they had some guy. I said him, like it's him now. Matches Subway marquee, huh?
I'll definitely look up who it is.
That'd be cool. They had some Ink Master guy come out and work this event. And if you got a 12 by 12 Subway logo tattoo, then they gave you a $50,000. They were calling it free subs for life, but it was a $50,000 gift card to Subway.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you could. They had other options too. You can get like a 3x3 Subway tattoo for free subs for a month, and which is not a fair deal. Anything that's a tattoo on your whole body for life that you only get something for a month, that's fucking bullshit. Including Subway sandwiches. I don't know, but what are you going to do? Sell the card and just...
No, like, I'm seeing how much food I can get.
Oh,
like, I'm a still eat at Subway.
Because you can go every single day still, yeah. I mean, no, you still shouldn't eat at Subway. But if you got free Subway, yeah, eat it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I have a hard stance against them. I'm not going to eat at Subway. So I'd eat their cookies. They have good cookies.
I mean, I smoke cigarettes. I eat at Taco Bell. Taco Bell's my favorite restaurant. So it's kind of like
a complete garbage pile. I get it.
I don't know. Subway doesn't sound that bad. Fibers?
Add on to it. Subway wrappers, Taco Bell wrappers, cellophane, all you.
Fibers found in their bread, too much sugar, Nazi judges.
If you find a roach at a place, you're like, this is fine dining.
Shouts out, Eat the Worm in Nebraska, Omaha. You guys are great.
On Belcher.
That was the best quesadilla I've ever had.
Before we got sick a while ago, we found out it was COVID. For months ago when we got sick, the day or two before I went to jiu-jitsu, and we stopped at a Circle K and got rollers like we do on the way back, and we saw a big-ass roach crawling around, and nobody was doing anything about it, and I said to her, I go, this makes me very uncomfortable about what I'm about to do. And she said, she did that. She goes, why? And I go, big-ass, that means nobody even gives a shit.
Yeah,
and then we ate those rollers, and then we almost died.
Yeah, we didn't get COVID from that.
I know. So that all being said about Subway, also... They just made a baller move. They are literally just doing like over the head shots that aren't making it in. You know, they're just whoop, how you like that one, and they're talking shit afterwards too. That's what they're doing. And they have decided to change their menu at Subway. You can no longer build. I don't know when this is going to go into effect.
This is what actually upset me.
Yeah.
Everything else that's happened so far,
yeah,
I'm all for.
They're going to set menu now. You can't be like, I want like a... And there was like a build your own sub thing. Like you just build it from whatever you want. But you could also customize and whatever. But they are now going with a 1 through 12 Subway sandwich menu that you have to pick from exclusively. And the customizations are extremely limited. So... That
is the only thing that you have said that would make me want to not eat Subway again.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody then. If that's the one, if that's the real kicker, I'll have to tell them all three of them. No, I can't tell them all three of those things because they'll be like, that's badass about the tattoo, bro. That's real G shit. Their bread
is a baked good? That sounds delicious. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Of course I would like donuts as a sandwich.
I want to point out, we have talked about Subway for about almost 20 minutes now. Yes. Subway, you win. GG.
Shouts out Subway. I remember working at the Waffle House in Waimama, and it's called Little Mexico. And I remember around 3 a.m. the Mexican nightclub that was next door, they would all come over because it was closed and try to buy beer, and they would just be trying to get these beer cave doors open, and they didn't speak English. So I had to be like, no cerveza. No. Cerveza, no. And I had to treat them like little kids, and it just made me feel bad because they just would get sad. No cerveza? No.
It goes a lot like this. No, I know. I can do this. It went like this. No.
That's how it would go.
No cerveza.
And it looked like they had tears coming in their eyes. And I'm like...
come on.
Literally.
Okay, come on.
I'm like, bro, get the fuck out. Like...
And then when they all decide to get out, they do this move. That's what they always do. They point at their boys and they go...
Yeah.
On their boy, I'm like, oh, shit. What do you throw?
Or they would just grab the warm beer that's by the door and run out with it.
Oh, fair enough.
Happened too many times.
I mean, who gives a shit? Honestly, good for them.
No, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish more of them did that because I didn't have to do a lot.
All right. What else is going on? Because it's crazy out there. Let's talk about the all-women police force that's in New York. Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah. What do you think about that? They have it's not a whole police force. It's a shift. So there's going to be a shift in New York. I forget where.
On purpose?
Yes, on purpose. They will be having a shift where it is all women.
Because, if it was an accident, they were just like, oh, wow, we scheduled a
I'm sure
lot
that's
of
happened in the past. Where there's, 2 dudes on shift and all women, I'm sure. But, no, they will be specifically on purpose making a all-women shift. What do you have to say about that? What do you got to say about these broads, huh?
So I am a woman, so I feel like I should say more than you about this.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what you got to say to these dumb bitches. No. Reese, please, if you would, be insightful.
I don't understand. Okay, usually I try to be on a woman's side just because, obviously, men's gonna be on men's side, women's gonna be on women's side.
No, I mean, you're gonna like my opinion. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Please, no, I would like for you to finish that.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not on your side at all in this.
Okay, we'll see.
Because it just seems weird, and it seems like you're trying to prove something. And if we have to try to prove things to people to be able to get our point across, then what's the point? Like, we're already having our rights stripped away, why not take more? Like, stop working altogether.
It is a weird, odd thing where they're, like, so proud of it. I'm like, it's not a good W, ladies. It's not the W you want. It's a W. It's not the one you want. You won the game. It's like winning a game when you're 0-17 already, and then you won a game, and you're like, let's go, baby, and you're like, you guys have to face the Patriots next, and you're like, what? Oh, that's what it's gonna be like for them. It's just you're right. It's a funny reactionary thing that I think anybody on any side should say why. I mean, like it's like from anything. It's like when I see a women remake of Ghostbusters. Why? If they made a woman remake of Highlander, I would go, why? It just doesn't need to be done. Like it just doesn't there's no need for it.
See, like, when it comes to media, that's where we're going to get different. When it comes to media, I'm all for anything. Like, if you want to turn Superman into a fucking bitch, go for it. I'll probably watch it. Whatever.
But it still comes down to why. You know that it does.
I agree, but, like, that's just a movie. That's just media.
Fair enough.
This is literally people's lives.
It's life.
No, like, it's literally people's lives. Like, they're actual police officers.
For my life out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I just don't... I don't understand why they would do something so drastic like that. Like, why... I don't know. Like, you wouldn't have a full shift of just men and make it a big deal. Yeah,
I mean, oh my god, if they did that, which there already are shifts where it's all men, but if they did that specifically, it would be a huge deal. Yeah, you're right. The thing is, I mean, I don't need to put my whole men thing on it where I'm like, it's not even my main opinion about it anyway, where it's like, oh, you guys can't handle it as well. I'll say this. I've had a few experiences with women police officers in my life, and it's just like with any experience with any police officer, you can't judge all of them off of the few that you've had. You have to take each one as it comes.
That's a great story.
I've had heads over. Oh my god, Google is consistently listening. Or like, you talk about police now? I've had heads over tails. I mean, that phrase doesn't even make any sense. I've had numerous great occasions with male cops, and I've had also some shitty occasions. I've only dealt with a few women cops, and I've had one good altercation. The rest of them were very confrontational, very much, I need to get away from this cop, I need to get away from these people. The one that was nice was I was a kid who needed a ride. I needed a ride home, and it was like almost midnight, and this female cop asked to give a transport to me. And, we made a little video. Not just that did not land. But she gave me a ride home to my house, and she wasn't like intrusive. Like, she didn't come up to the door and be like, which is crazy. I had a wanted felon living at my house with my parents at the time. And which got caught, shouts out. But they pulled up, and she wasn't like, oh, I need to talk to your parents or anything. She was like, your parents home? And I go, yeah, they're literally sleeping. And she was like, all right, well, be safe, have a good night, and then just drove off, and that was it. And I was like, cool, that was a nice officer lady. Every other time, you see it, it just seems like there's something to prove for them more often than it is for the male cops. There's something that they need to be more confrontational. They want to, what's the word? They want to interact more with a smaller crime situation, a smaller situation that could be going on, compared to a male cop would just be like, hey, it's fine. It goes hand in hand, because there's plenty of male cops that would also be like, I'm gonna go talk to those guys who are just standing there innocently. I find that the women cops do that more often. I feel that if you do a whole shift of them, you're going to see, they're going to be like, crime's fucking crazy. And I'm going to be like, yeah, it's because they're literally going after every single guy, I think that's all. They're going to go after tons of guys. They're going to be like, whoa, what's going on? I think that, but it needs to all be fair. Is the thing. It needs to be fair.
Right. So I'm going to go the exact opposite direction. Remember, I am not on this all-female cop shift side.
Right.
And I have the opposite opinion of him because the only interactions I have had with female cops have all been positive. They've been wonderful experiences. Meanwhile, every male cop I've ever encountered, I not only didn't feel safe, they were rude. It was always over something small and insignificant, except that time in Kansas. Also, shouts out that Kansas cop. You were actually pretty cool. But let me get to the actual story. So also specifically about what you said about how female cops are always like, oh, well, that's a little thing that you're doing over there, so I'm going to get mad at you about it. Every cop, male cop, has tried getting me on tiny, tiny little stuff.
Yeah, I said both would do that. Yeah, both would do that. Every
single one. Meanwhile, this shouts out my favorite female cop that's ever had an issue with me. She could definitely lose her job, but it's not like
how
I know
short
her
is her
name.
haircut?
Actually, long
What's
ponytail.
her wife's name?
She had longer hair than me, so. But she, me and my two friends, shouts out Denzel and Tommy. We were in Denzel's car. He was driving, and Denzel had a beer. But we were parked outside. It was like down the street from where he lived, but it was like this developing community, and we were just like hanging out. It sounds like a weird situation, but we were genuinely just hanging.
Y'all should have been going to jail. She should have took y'all in. That's what you know what I smell? It smells like fucking crime in here is what it smells like.
Well, I had actually downed about a half a bottle of tequila, and
I knew it. I can smell it. No.
I had a 6-pack of Yingling already. That's done. And then I was currently drinking a vodka drink out of my little water bottle, and I was in the passenger seat. And then Tommy in the back hadn't drank anything. So, cops get called on us because apparently we were close to somebody's house that somebody was actually living in. We didn't know
though
because we didn't know though because it was
Hi, my boyfriends are outside and they don't know how to fix the car. Could you come help us? Go ahead, Reese. Take it from here. What happened after that?
So, yeah, and we didn't know that anybody lived there because it was a developing community and everything. So, cop comes up. It was a dude and a chick, and
a lady and a guy.
A lady and a guy. A lady and a guy, man, that's like a massacre.
Yep. And the chick, immediately starts talking to Denzel. She's like, "Have you been drinking?" Denzel says yes. And
Denzel said, "Oh, you motherfuckers! This is how you do me." Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, I already told them, I was like, don't say you've been drinking. Don't do that. And Tommy was freaking out. Keep in mind, he had
You said that to him in the moment. She said, have you been drinking? You leaned over. Don't tell him you've been drinking.
I said it right before she got to the door.
Smart.
So, Tommy hadn't drank at all, remember. Tommy was freaking out, though. He was literally sweating, and the male cop was asking him questions. And I'm over there. I literally have my bottle of vodka in my hand, and I'm just like, female cop comes up to me, and she's like, hey, let me talk to you. And I was like, I keep my mouth closed like this. Because, breath.
Okay, I get it.
And then, she starts to ask me, she's like, so, do you know if they've been drinking? And I'm like, I know I haven't. I just got here. And she's like, okay, alright. And she kind of, looks around. And then she goes, can you drive these guys home? And I was like, yes, ma'am, I can. And, it was a stick shift. So anyway, I get in. And that's how I learned how to drive stick shift. Super fun.
That's your story, right?
That's it.
That's the story.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So you're telling me she's an awful cop? She's
she
bad
was
at what
great.
She
I
does.
loved her so
The
much.
worst.
Shout out.
Jesus.
Shout out to that lady. She
I'll
was great. I had no idea where I was either.
tell you what's gonna be in Rise.
Almost ran over a mailbox on my way out of the driveway. Too.
Wow. Wow. In front of her, right? And she was like, "Wow, she's so good. She drives like how I drive." Tony, not Tony. The guy, her fellow officers were like, "It's how you drive." She's like, "Oh my god, I'm getting in my cruiser. I'm out of here. It's late." I can tell you what's going to be in flux though from this. Going to be a lot. The in the porn industry, the female officer genre is going to skyrocket. Is going to go through the roof. They're going to be asking for lady officer actors everywhere, and they're going to be catching a lot of men who at first their charges are going to be speeding or battery or some type of charge where they need to take them in, and they're going to have to tack on nudity and exposing themselves to an officer. It's going to be a lot of guys being like, "Oh, is this the all women shift?" Oh, crazy! I didn't know that. Is it 8 o'clock already? Wow. Anyway, is there something I did wrong, officer? There's gonna be a lot of dudes like hitting on them and shit. It's gonna be so ridiculous because I don't know. I feel like that's just how that would work out. A lot of dummies out there in New York that would try it. Oh, I'm gonna go out on the all women shift and I'm gonna cause some ruckus and maybe I'll get that fine Nancy who's on the force.
I definitely feel like that is a thing.
That'll definitely
happens
be a thing, right?
already.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But if you give them a shift, dude, what if they give them the shift as like, yo, what if they give them their own shift and it's like the midnight to 6 a.m. or something like that, and they're like, son of a bitch, we thought we had them, boys. They call each other the boys. The girls call each other the boys in this scenario.
Okay.
Yeah. In New York, yeah.
New York. You say that you think they call them the boys.
Yeah, like, hey,
all the
boy, I
time.
think she gets in the locker room. She goes, boys!
Boys.
We almost had them, but you know, it's 12 to 6 a.m. Oh, no. God. Did you know that the Earth's spinning too fast? Did you know that?
I know it. Our calendars don't add up if that's what you're getting at.
I don't think that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I don't think so. The article. So anytime I see like an end of the world type thing, like there's a meteor that's getting close or whatever, you got me. I'm clicking on it because I need to know how old is this article. What are people saying? How for real is this? Because God forbid that's the one time I go bullshit and I scroll. You know, you'll get me over every time. I can feed through some of the bullshit, like, oh, there's a giant marshmallow attacking New York. Oh no! And I'll be like, come on. Not again. I'm not falling for it 2 times. Yeah. You know, once I bought tickets and I was like, nah, you guys got me. I got to refund these things now.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
I guess the Earth's rotation in 2020 was recorded to be faster than ever. And I don't know what that means calendar-wise, but in 2021, they were like, oh, it's probably going to chill. It's probably going to go back to normal now. And they said it went even fucking faster.
Nice.
And they say that our Earth is spinning much, much faster by the year by like 1 point. It's like something minute for us, but for a planetary thing, it's like, you know, that's the thing. They literally said, we have no idea why it's doing this or what it means, but we think it's dangerous. And we're like, what? Why? Why is it dangerous?
Our days would be a lot shorter.
Well, it should be shorter now already. But it's not. Days take forever.
Well, that would also mean that our, weeks are going to get shorter, our months are going to get shorter, our years are going to get shorter.
Yeah, they were blaming climate change, which they should. But
that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, the day's long as shit as it is every day. It goes until almost 9 o'clock almost every day. It's bright outside. What?
I don't even know
What?
how to begin to explain
That time is a man-made construct?
Yeah,
Right, they're talking
but-
about the spatial... like, they have this
Yeah.
whole spatial clock thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on?
It'd be like by like 0.001 seconds. It would get slightly faster, which you add all
It was
those
like
up.
it was like 1.36 milliseconds.
Yeah, so that's like 0.001 seconds.
So, but what does that mean?
That means that over the course of like, I don't know, 10 to 15 years, you might have a whole day shaved off.
That sounds pretty nice. I mean, I was thinking, like, how crazy would it be if that was our end and all the crazy shit that, like, you know, eons from now, they're just like, and what happened with that generation of the world? They spun too quick. You know, like when you go to a party and you spin your head on a bat, or you get on a Ferris wheel and you spin too fast. Yeah, it's like that. That's what happened to them. They went too quick. They went and they got retarded. They got retarded and then they died. And then that's our end. Could you imagine? That's bullshit.
What I think is actually happening is Superman is actually flying around the world and he wants to see the
Nice.
future. So
He's getting real tired of it. Some scientist somewhere, Elon, is doing something to mess with the Earth. I'll tell you that much. Whether it be
well, he's
Elon
just
Musk.
digging tunnels, so.
Yeah, it's true. It's just a tunnel. It's either Elon Musk, the scientist from Phineas and Ferb, or Illuminati.
Illuminati.
or it's because of the all female, or
Subway?
it's the Subway's doing.
I think it's
And they
Subway.
thought maybe if we speed up the Earth's rotation,
People
then
will
the days will
want
go by faster. So people will say we need to be
buy.
fast. We can't just get subs that are made by hand anymore. We need to get our bullshit, and people will have to buy Subway.
Yeah. I think we figured it out. That said, I still would eat at Subway. If I found out they were like evil people and they were going to try to take over the world or something, I would definitely still eat there.
I mean, you have no choice. They've already done it. They're like, well, it's great that you want to eat here and all, but it's like you have to. So
I'm a supporter, is what I'm saying.
right. They're like, what do you want, a job or something?
Yeah, I mean,
What are we talking about? Bennies? We would say, yeah, Bennies? Well, yeah, you get a sub every time you work. That's a good deal.
I'm in.
That's a good deal.
I still have to pay tax. I mean, okay. I guess.
That's what it's like being a part of the Empire in Star Wars. Damn. You guys said no tax, though. Man. Alright, and that's the news. And that's the way it was. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way things go in this world right now. I hope you're happy with it. If not, I mean, just drink up, bud. You know? Any last words, Reese?
Am I gonna die?
The world may never know. So okay, we're gonna do this cool thing. Cheers me, and then hold it, and then connect arms, and boom! Cheers to you, boys.